Elon Musk is not someone to get scared, but when he started talking about a 2025 prediction from the Simpsons movie, it caught everyone's attention. The show has been weirdly accurate with foreseeing the future, from technological breakthroughs to dangerous events. Now, with 2025 around the corner, Musk has hinted that one of their predictions might be closer to reality than anyone wants to admit. What could it be? In this video, we will reveal the Simpsons prediction for 2025 that scares Elon Musk. World War III. Back in 2000, The Simpsons gave us a glimpse of a chaotic future, showing scenes of bombs dropping and people scrambling for shelter. At the time, it felt like just another wild joke from the show. Now, in 2025, that prediction feels a little too close to reality. Global tensions are boiling over, with conflicts like the Russia-Ukraine war and ongoing unrest in the Middle East dividing nations even more. Powerful countries like the US, China, and Russia seem caught in a dangerous game of dominance, with alliances and rivalries pulling strings everywhere. The episode also threw in Lisa Simpson stepping into the role of president, taking over a broken and battered nation after Trump's administration. Her comments about dealing with a destroyed budget hit hard, considering the world today is grappling with economic instability and political chaos. The possibility of a large-scale war feels like it's hanging in the air, and somehow The Simpsons may have nailed it again. From global crises to leadership challenges, the show's strange knack for mirroring reality is downright chilling in 2025. This is just the beginning. Wait to find out more accurate predictions by The Simpsons. Trump's takeover of presidency. Back in 2015, The Simpsons threw in a quick scene where Homer flew past a sign that read Trump 2024. It felt like just another one of the show's clever jokes, but fast forward to now, 2025, and that joke has become reality. After officially announcing his 2024 presidential run in November 2022, Donald Trump has won the election and is now set to take over the office in 2025. What makes this prediction even stranger is that it aired before Trump had ever been elected president the first time. The writers somehow managed to capture the chaos surrounding one of the most divisive figures in modern politics years ahead of time. Trump's return to the White House comes after a fiercely contested election, setting the tone for a presidency that will undoubtedly dominate headlines. The Simpsons' ability to predict such a massive political moment with a simple gag sign is yet another example of their uncanny knack for blending humor with reality. With Trump back in power and 2025 already feeling unpredictable, the show's legacy as a window into the future only grows stronger. AI taking human jobs. The Simpsons once showed Mr. Burns firing everyone at the power plant and replacing them with robots. That was back in 2012. And now in 2025, it's not just a funny scene, it's starting to feel real. AI and robots are taking over jobs faster than anyone expected. Restaurants in Japan have robots delivering food. Self-driving cars are replacing taxi drivers, and businesses are using AI tools for everything from coding to graphic design. Even translators and financial analysts are feeling the heat as AI steps into roles that once seemed safe. Companies love AI because it cuts costs, but for workers, it's a whole different story. Jobs are disappearing as machines learn faster and work longer. It's not just factory work anymore. Creative and professional roles are being automated too. In some industries, humans are training AI only to see it take over their jobs completely. Smart watches. In 1995, The Simpsons showed us a futuristic gadget in Lisa's wedding. Lisa's fiancé, Hugh, casually spoke into a wrist device that worked as both a watch and a phone. At the time, it was more of a clever gag than something people thought would actually happen. But here we are in 2025, and smartwatches have become an everyday part of life. Back then, the idea of a wrist phone was almost unheard of, except in spy movies. Yet just a few years later, the first smartwatch with phone capabilities hit the market in 1999. Fast forward to today, and these devices do so much more than just make calls. They track your health, monitor your sleep, manage notifications, and even serve as personal assistants. What once seemed impossible now feels normal. People everywhere are talking to their wrists like it's second nature. Autocorrect. The Simpsons poked fun at technology with a scene where Dolph wrote, "Beat up Martin" on an Apple Newton, only for it to autocorrect to "Eat up Martha." It was a hilarious dig at Newton's messy handwriting recognition, but it also ended up predicting the headaches we'd all face with autocorrect years later. Fast forward to 2025, and autocorrect is still both a blessing and a curse. While it helps fix typos and speed up texting, it also creates plenty of awkward and downright embarrassing moments. The Simpsons joke actually had a real-world impact because Apple developers reportedly worked harder on their autocorrect systems after the episode aired. Even with those improvements, autocorrect on modern devices still struggles with slang, names, and context. Now, as AI-powered typing tools take over, autocorrect has evolved but hasn't completely solved its issues. Whether it's changing love to live or completely derailing a professional email, autocorrect continues to shape how we communicate. Yard Work Simulator. In 1998, Bart Simpson stumbled across the Yard Work Simulator at Colonel, Texas, Traveling Carnival. It was a virtual reality game that let him mow lawns and trim bushes without lifting a finger in real life. Marge's remark about doing the same chores at home didn't sit well with Bart, who clearly had no interest in actual hard work. Fast forward to 2025, and what seemed like a quirky gag is now a full-blown reality. Today, simulator games let players dive into everyday tasks like farming, cleaning, and even power washing. These aren't just niche games either. People spend hours tending to digital gardens or building their dream farms, all from the comfort of their couches. Virtual reality has taken things even further, letting players physically interact with these tasks in a way Bart could only imagine. If 90s Bart thought mowing lawns in VR was cool, modern gaming would blow his mind. This prediction from The Simpsons has officially landed in our world. FIFA controversy. The Simpsons took aim at FIFA in their episode "You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee," and reality followed not long after. The show painted a picture of corrupt soccer officials getting arrested, and in 2015, real-world FIFA executives found themselves at the center of a massive corruption scandal. Bribery, shady deals, and power plays within international football became front-page news. Even in 2025, controversy still clings to FIFA. The debates over the 2018 and 2022 World Cup bids haven't faded, with many still questioning how fair and transparent the process really was. The episode also showed Brazil losing to Germany, which mirrored the real-life 7-1 defeat in the 2014 World Cup semi-finals. What stood out in the episode was Homer refusing to take a bribe, a sharp contrast to how the sport's governing body has been portrayed in the headlines. As new issues surrounding FIFA emerge, The Simpsons' sharp take on international football feels more relevant than ever. The best part is yet to come. Keep watching. Humans moving to Mars. When The Simpsons sent Lisa and Marge on a mission to colonize Mars, it seemed like pure comedy. Lisa was ready for the adventure of a lifetime, and Marge, determined not to let her go alone, joined the trip too. The idea of the whole family heading to Mars sounded like a stretch back then, but now it feels like a glimpse into the near future. As we step into 2025, SpaceX is making bold strides toward turning Mars colonization into a reality. With reusable rockets and plans for crewed missions, the idea of humans living on the Red Planet doesn't feel so distant. Volunteers have already stepped forward, willing to leave Earth behind for this groundbreaking journey. The Simpsons even predicted Mars wouldn't be enough for some, with Lisa eyeing Venus after settling on the Red Planet. While we're not quite there yet, the rapid advancements in space technology make it clear that the once absurd storylines of a cartoon are aligning more with real-world possibilities. Disney acquiring Fox. In 1998, The Simpsons slipped in a subtle joke during an episode featuring Homer hanging out with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. A quick shot of a sign revealed 20th Century Fox as a division of Walt Disney, a gag that no one took seriously at the time. Nearly 2 decades later, that joke became reality when Disney bought 21st Century Fox in 2017 for $71 billion. This deal gave Disney access to Fox's vast library of films and TV shows.
20th Century Fox Movie Studios. Now check out the fine print, a division of Walt Disney Company,
including The Simpsons itself. It wasn't just about content. The merger also helped Disney boost its streaming power, combining audiences from both companies into its growing subscriber base. Now, in 2025, Disney's influence in the entertainment industry is massive, with its streaming platforms dominating global viewership. The Simpsons becoming part of the Disney family seemed impossible back in the 90s, but their quiet prediction has become one of the most iconic examples of art mirroring real life in unexpected ways. Legalized marijuana in Canada. In a 2005 episode of The Simpsons, Ned Flanders found himself in Canada, face to face with his look-alike. The Canadian doppelganger offered him some legal marijuana with a cheerful, "Would you like to puff on a reeferino?" At the time, it was just a joke, since weed wasn't legal in Canada. Fast forward to 2018, and Canada officially legalized recreational cannabis across the entire country, making that Simpsons scene feel oddly ahead of its time. Now, in 2025, cannabis has become a booming industry in Canada, with dispensaries thriving and the market continuing to grow. Legalization has sparked conversations about policies in other countries, with some nations considering following Canada's footsteps. The Simpsons' playful jab at legal marijuana wasn't just a throwaway line. It captured a cultural shift that would take over a decade to unfold. The episode also highlighted the lengths people go to for affordable healthcare, with the characters crossing into Canada for medicine. Even that storyline feels more relevant today as global debates about healthcare costs rage on. Airplane restaurant. In a 1998 episode of The Simpsons, Homer and Marge's anniversary plans took a nosedive when Grandpa didn't show up to babysit. Instead of their fancy dinner at the Gilded Truffle, they ended up at Up and Buffy, an airplane-themed restaurant complete with turbulence simulations and meals served in ARF bags. While it was meant as a joke, real airplane restaurants have popped up around the world since then. Presently, these unique dining spots have become quite popular. Old planes have been turned into restaurants serving everything from fast food to gourmet dishes. Some even let guests dine in first-class seats, creating a one-of-a-kind experience. There's an airplane McDonald's in New Zealand, while other countries have gone bigger, offering full-course meals inside massive jets. What started as a clever parody has become a global trend, blending aviation nostalgia with dining. The Simpsons once again managed to tap into an idea that would eventually take off in the real world: black hole existence. The Simpsons once showed Springfield getting swallowed by a black hole in their Treehouse of Horror 23 episode back in 2013. What started as a tiny, harmless-looking black spot quickly grew into a massive force, pulling in everything from random junk to entire people. By the end, Springfield wasn't destroyed, but transported to a strange, alien-filled world. At the time, it all felt like pure entertainment, but now, in 2025, it's hitting closer to home. With India's recent advancements in space exploration, black holes are becoming a key focus for researchers. Theories about these cosmic giants possibly being gateways to other dimensions are gaining traction. Scientists are digging deeper into how these intense regions of space operate, hoping to crack some of the biggest mysteries of the universe. What makes this prediction feel even more scary is how much it aligns with the growing belief that black holes might not just destroy, but could lead to something entirely new. What once felt like fiction is edging closer to reality. Gym mat food. In one classic Simpsons episode, Principal Skinner's extreme budget cuts led to the kids eating lunches made with shredded newspapers and gym mats. It was funny in a gross way, but fast forward to real life, and we got something surprisingly close. Back in 2014, people found out that some big fast food chains were using azodicarbonamide in their bread. This chemical, also used in making yoga mats and gym mats, was added to improve the bread's texture. The news caused a huge uproar, and while many chains dropped the ingredient, the controversy left people questioning what really goes into their food. Now, as more attention is being paid to what's labeled as safe additives, it feels like The Simpsons were ahead of the game again. With constant pushes for transparency in food production, the idea of eating something so processed it could double as gym equipment doesn't seem so absurd. Skinner's budget-saving trick hit closer to real-life kitchens than anyone could have imagined. You're at the edge of your seat, and it's about to get better. Video calls. The Simpsons took a bold leap in 1995 with Lisa's wedding, showing her talking to her family through a video call. Back then, it seemed like pure fantasy, since video calls were nowhere near reality. But now, in 2025, they're not only real, but a daily part of life. Apps like Zoom, FaceTime, and Google Meet have made staying connected so easy that it feels strange to think we ever lived without them. That same episode also introduced a wrist device that looked like a simple watch but worked as a communication gadget. Today, smartwatches are everywhere, doing way more than anyone imagined. They handle calls, send texts, track fitness, check heart rates, and even control devices in your home. Now, these technologies are evolving even further. Video calls have become more immersive, with features like virtual backgrounds and live captions. Smartwatches are pushing boundaries too, offering tools for medical monitoring and personal organization. Snake clubbing. The Simpsons predicted a snake hunting event that's become a reality. In the episode Whacking Day, the town of Springfield gathers to eliminate snakes in a bizarre tradition. This fictional event mirrors real-life efforts like Florida's Python Challenge, which started in 2013. The challenge encourages locals to capture or kill invasive Burmese pythons in exchange for cash prizes. Fast forward to this moment, and this event has turned into a major competition, drawing hundreds of participants each year. In 2022, one contestant captured 28 snakes, taking home $10,000. The problem with these pythons is that they're wreaking havoc on local ecosystems, and controlling their numbers has become a priority. The Simpsons' portrayal of snake hunting might have seemed far-fetched at first, but the real-world version has grown into something just as extreme. While Springfield's version might have been a bit over the top, the actual Python Challenge has become a serious, competitive event in Florida, with people racing to eliminate as many snakes as they can to win big. Grease thefts. The Simpsons nailed it again with their grease theft prediction. In the episode Lard of the Dance, Homer and Bart try to make a quick buck by stealing grease from places like the school and Krusty Burger. They quickly realize that grease is a valuable commodity, and their small-time hustle turns into a mess when they get involved with a mafia-like grease company. Fast forward to 2012, and something strange happened in real life as grease thefts surged across the US as the price of used cooking oil shot up. Thieves were swiping the stuff from restaurants like McDonald's to sell it, making a killing. As we enter 2025, this trend shows no signs of slowing down. With the demand for used cooking oil still high for biodiesel production, stealing grease has become almost a regular thing. It's crazy to think that this wild idea from The Simpsons might have inspired some real-life criminals, but it's clear that the grease game has become big business. What once seemed ridiculous is now just another part of the hustle. Old fan mail. In Season 2's Brush with Greatness, Ringo Starr responds to fan mail that's been sitting around for years, including a letter from Marge, sent back in high school. While it's a funny plot, it wasn't too far from reality. In 2013, Paul McCartney got a tape from two fans who sent him a message in 1963. After 50 years, he finally responded, with the BBC helping to make it happen. He even said he appreciated the gift, a painting, and hung it on his wall. Presently, this bizarre fan mail comeback trend is gaining more attention. People are finding old letters and messages from years ago and reaching out to celebrities. Some stars are even taking the time to respond, just like Ringo and Paul did. It's a strange way of connecting the past with the present, but it's happening. What was once an unusual idea on TV has now turned into a real thing, with fans and celebrities reconnecting over decades-old messages. This is not the end. We have more. Hover cars. The Simpsons showed us a future where everyone was zooming around in hover cars, and now that future is a lot closer than we thought. Advances in technology, especially with electric cars and alternative transportation, are bringing us closer to this dream. Companies are already testing flying cars, and some are working on vehicles that can hover using air pressure. While we're not exactly seeing the smooth, sci-fi style hover cars from the show, the progress is undeniable. Many leading automobile companies are pushing the limits with electric vehicles, and now they're looking at how these vehicles can take to the skies or hover above the ground. Some prototypes are already out there, and they're getting better every year. It's no longer just a crazy idea from a cartoon. The dream of flying and hovering cars is becoming a reality, and 2025 might be the year we finally start seeing these futuristic vehicles on the road or even in the air. The Simpsons hit the nail on the head with this one: economic collapse. In one episode, Homer loses his job at the nuclear plant, and everything spirals into financial disaster. Later, Lisa steps in as president, trying to fix the mess left behind. At the time, it was a funny, exaggerated storyline. Fast forward to 2025, and it feels less like a joke. The global economy is under serious pressure. Industries are crumbling, inflation is hitting hard, and there's a lot of political unrest. We've seen major companies laying off workers and cutting back, and banks are struggling to stay afloat. Governments are scrambling to control the situation, but debts keep piling up. It's almost as though The Simpsons were giving us a sneak peek at what might unfold. What once seemed like an outlandish plotline is now eerily familiar. The idea of a full-blown economic collapse doesn't feel as far off anymore. What they predicted about financial turmoil is starting to look a lot more real in today's world. Curling gold medalist. The Simpsons predicted the US men's curling team winning Olympic gold in 2010. In the episode, the team defeats Sweden in a thrilling match for the gold. At the time, it was just a funny story, but in 2018, it actually happened. The US team, led by John Schuster, went up against Sweden in the final and pulled off a stunning 10-7 victory. This was the first ever gold medal for the US in curling, making it a huge surprise and a big moment in the Winter Olympics. What makes this prediction even crazier is that curling wasn't a sport the US was known for winning gold in. The Simpsons called it more than 8 years before it actually came true. It's not just a fluke or a lucky guess. The show has a history of predicting things that end up happening, and this curling gold was one of the most unexpected examples. The US men's curling team's victory became one of the most talked about moments of the 2018 Winter Olympics, just like The Simpsons predicted. Do you think these predictions are wild enough to be scared about? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Click on the next video displayed on your screen. You will enjoy it.